All righty. Good morning, everybody. My name is CJ Curry. This is the CJ Curry Show, and it's presented by PrizePicks. PrizePicks is making daily fantasy easy. All you do is pick 2, 3, 4, 5, and more recently, 6. You can pick up to 6 different players, choose more or less on their individual projections, and win up to not 10x, but now 25x on your cash. 25 times your money. So if you put in $5, you can multiply that by 25. That would be your winnings, right? It used to be 10x, now it's 25x. Have any of you guys hit a 25x yet? I know it's only been live for a couple of days. Maybe a couple you have. Maybe you haven't yet. Maybe you haven't even touched it yet, because going 6 for 6, not the easiest thing in the world. But now, yes, you can win up to 25 times your money over on PrizePicks. Use promo code Curry on your first deposit. Get a 100% instant deposit match. Link down in the description below to get started. Happy to have all of you folks here this morning. We got a big NBA slate. We're going to go through all the news, all the info. We're going to try and find some winning picks for you today. I'll be taking your Q&A. We'll have a Q&A portion toward the end of the show. So if you have any picks, any plays that you're really liking, hold those till the end once the Q&A portion of the show goes up, all right? I'm going to throw a few picks at you. We'll look at them together, and then we'll take your questions, and hopefully I'll provide some answers for you. Shout out to some of our Patreon members. We got a lot of Patreon members showing up daily. Appreciate that. For just $20 a month, you can help support the show. You can also get access to a community of PrizePicks players. We're talking props daily. We're sharing info. We're sharing our favorite entries. We're just trying to help each other win with solid research and data. So if you're into that sort of thing, if you're looking for a family atmosphere, if you're looking for a friendly community, I've got one set up for you. Link for that down in the description below. The Discord's free to join if you want to take things up a step and go to the next level. Then join Patreon, support my content, support the show. You'll get access to a whole bunch of people, a couple hundred of us in there doing our thing daily, all right? Let's run through the chat real quick. We got Game is Life. He says, let's go with the money bag emojis. Appreciate you being here. ZXR Skills, always showing support. He says, good afternoon, friends, and happy Friday. No Limits in the building. You flex, I flex back. Shout out to No Limit for being here once again. Dave's in the building. He was on Mason Plumlee the other night, but will he be on Mason Plumlee again? That is the question. Shout out to Dave. Thanks for being here. Ape Gang's in the building. He says, yo, King Chris, good morning. Good afternoon to you. Who else we got in here? We got Constant Dew Drinker. Hey, lay off that dew, bro. Too much dew. Too much of anything can be a problem, all right? I don't want you to become an addict. He wants to know, who are the locks? And it sounds like he's got his answer from Mr. King Chris here. Styles P. He's one of the locks, all right? He's one of them. There's Jada Kiss. There's Sheik Luch. All right. There's other guys in the locks, but those are the locks. You guys know. If you've been here before, you know who the locks are. Trill Fate's in the building. He's saying 6-leg flex. Have you played one? Have you hit one, Trill? Let me know. Let me know. T-Bone's in the building. T-Bone, where you been, brother? I haven't heard from you, seen you in a while. I hope everything's good your way. He says, good morning. Let's hit a 10x and a 25x. I love that energy, bro. You coming through with the positivity, the positive energy. Emmanuel's in the building. What's up to you? It's been a minute. Well, I'm glad you're here, my friend. Tim's here. He says, what's up? Let's cash on this fine Friday. Love that. Love that. Mo with the shout out to the Patreon gang. Love it, Mo. Appreciate you with the support through Patreon. Mike is here. He says, let's eat Out of Bounds, crew. That's the name of our Discord. It's called the Out of Bounds Discord. Kind of ties in with basketball, right? Out of Bounds basketball. You know, hopefully you guys make the connection. Chill Robot says, TGIF, good people. Cheers. Thank you for being here, Mr. Robots. Wesley Winston, what's up, boss man? Back at you, bro. What is up? What's good? Bryant Hernandez says, bro, let's get this money. We gonna do it. We gonna do it. King United says, I hit 4 out of 6. Well, 4 out of 6 still pays a little something. You get a little chunk of your change back, but we're looking for the big 6 for 6. 6 for 6. Jiggy Never Forget says, last 2 days he's been 5-1. Love that. That sounds good. I just got a good last pick. All right. I got some things for you. I've got some things lined up. Let's see here. Who else have we not said hello to? Tyrone's in the building. He says, good morning. Good morning back at you, Mr. McGrew. No clout. Mentioning Flex Friday. Yes, today is Flex Friday, meaning your first flex entry of up to $20 is risk-free. All right. So you could put $20 on a 6-pick, right? $20 on a 6-pick. Multiply that by 25. I'm not so good at math. I don't know what that is off the top of my head, but it's risk-free no matter what, all right? Your first flex entry up to $20 is totally risk-free. So why not just throw it all on the line on a 6-pick flex? If it doesn't hit, guess what? You get that money back as promo credits. It's risk-free. It's not coming out of your pocket. It's not hurting your bankroll. You'll win it back if you don't hit, all right? So Flex Friday, good time to take advantage. Maybe we dabble in these 6-pick flex streets tonight. Shiv says, what's up? He's ready to get this bread. Brian's here. Shout out Brian. Koyo, Flex Friday, let's cash. Absolutely. Fear, Shaolin says, I'm at work, still had to tune in. Appreciate you tuning in, brother. Dennis Martinez, good morning. Thank you for your work. Well, good morning to you, Dennis, and thank you for being here and joining us. All right, gang, let's jump into some Poeltl, and then we'll get into today's NBA slate. We got a lot to go over. 11 games, I think it is. 11 tonight. And I'm going to hit you guys with some picks. All right, and we'll look at the picks together. If you agree with the research, if you think that the research leads to the more or the less, well, then take it. If you don't agree with the research, hey, you ain't got to take it. So we're going to play some Poeltl. You have to guess the mystery player. This is a mystery NBA player. You get 8 guesses. You could try any current NBA player that you'd like. Yellow in the team column indicates that the mystery player at one point played for this team. So it's like a partial match, but doesn't currently play for the team, all right? Yellow in the position column indicates that there's a partial match to the mystery player's position. So sometimes you'll see guard / forward, all right? If that's yellow, that means they could be a guard or a forward. And then yellow in any other column indicates that his attribute is within 2. That could be 2 inches in height. That could be 2 years in age, up or down. That could be 2 digits in the jersey number, up or down, all right? And if you get stuck, they've got a silhouette mode, all right? So today's thumbnail is Tyrese Halliburton. So let's start with him. Oh, my goodness. What a bad guess that was. Why do I say it's a bad guess? Well, we didn't get any yellow or any green, meaning we got 0 partial matches, 0 exact matches. But what we can come up with is that this player is not in the Eastern Conference, all right? So we need to go out west. We also know that this player is not a guard. It's going to be taller than 6'5", which is Tyrese Maxey's height. Going to be older than 22, possibly like a veteran, somebody who's been in the league for a little bit. And we know that the jersey number is going to have to be a jersey number higher than 0. So we're probably looking for a veteran forward out west, maybe a veteran center out west, right? Somebody's been in the league for a few years at least. So where do we want to go from here? I don't know, man. Let's throw out LeBron James, right? LeBron James, just a wild guess, all right? At least we got some green now. We got some green. We know they're in the Western Conference. This player is a forward who is 6'9", but LeBron's too old. So this player is between 22 and 37 years old. Jersey number of 6 on LeBron James, still not high enough. So we're looking for a higher jersey number here. And this player does not play in the Pacific Division. Guys are saying Anthony Davis. I don't think it could be Anthony Davis. Nikola Jokic. All right. Hey, I could get on board with some Nikola Jokic. Let's go with Nikola Jokic. No, not Nikola Jokic. But what we do know, all right, is that this player is exactly 27 years old. The jersey number's still not high enough. We're looking for a number now that is above jersey number 15. Jokic, a little bit too tall, 6'11". So this player is exactly 6'9". Probably going to be a forward, right? Power forward, something along those lines, I'm thinking. So we got a little closer. All right, we know that this player is not a center. It's not somebody who flexes from forward to center. Could be a small forward / power forward, perhaps. What other guesses we got? Maybe we check out this silhouette. Oh, come on now. I think y'all know who this is. If y'all don't know who this is, then, I don't know what to say. You don't watch enough basketball. Yeah. Yeah, Broccoli Head. Mr. Broccoli from Dallas. That's right. If that ain't Christian Wood, what's that dude's name? Hold on real quick. Let me go to Google real quick. What's his name? Is his name like Mr. Beaker or something like that? Yeah, there he is. Mr. Beaker. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it's Christian Wood, a.k.a. Mr. Beaker. Mr. Beaker. That's what he's looking like. He's looking like this little Muppet here, Mr. Beaker. Tell me Christian Wood's little silhouette here doesn't look like that. I think they might be twins. But I think you guys are right, man. I think this is Christian Wood. Let's go for it. Christian Wood, Dallas Mavericks forward. Bang. We got it, baby. We got it. 4 guesses. Christian Wood is the correct answer. Let's just take a look at the stats for Christian Wood. Dallas Mavericks forward, plays in the West, Southwest Division. He is a forward. He is exactly 6'9". He is 27 years of age and rocks jersey number 35. Christian Wood, a.k.a. Mr. Beaker. Congratulations to you guys. I think that silhouette really gave it away. The man looks like an actual piece of broccoli. Once we saw that silhouette and we knew it was a player out west, I think we all knew that was Christian Wood. Undeniably had to be Christian Wood, right? So shout out to everybody who got that right. Let's move on to today's NBA slate. Hey, if you're not subscribed yet, go ahead and get subscribed. Slap the like button. Let's run these likes up. There's a few of you watching who haven't hit the like button yet, and I've got my eye on you. So hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed if you haven't yet. We're giving away a free entry every day. It's a 2-pick. You get both picks right, you win $100 on PrizePicks. All you have to do to automatically be entered, be a subscriber, like today's live stream, and once the replay goes up, you're going to comment. In that comment, I just want you to leave a pick, your favorite pick of the day. Maybe somebody else will see it. Maybe they'll tail it. Maybe you'll help them win big on PrizePicks. All right. So a free entry every single day that I go live on here. We're giving them away. All right. Real easy to get qualified for that. All right. Let's break it down here. Thank you to RotoWire for providing this handy little dashboard. Starting things off at 7 o'clock tonight, Eastern time. Of course, that's where I'm at on the East Coast. We got Miami at Washington. Lots and lots and lots of names. A long list of names for that Miami Heat squad. Udonis Haslem, not really an impactful piece of injury news. He is a game time decision, however. Dwayne Dedmon, game time decision. Martin, game time decision. Bam Adebayo, a game time decision. Now, I want you guys to pay attention to the colors next to these names here. Hopefully you can see that wherever you're watching from. But you'll see green next to some people's name. That means very likely to play for Haslem. You'll see gray next to some player's name. It's a toss-up, meaning their status is still up in the air. We don't know if they're going to play or not. And then you'll see some that kind of have this light red or a darker shade of red, all right? That means that they're more on the doubtful side of playing. So Bam Adebayo, you kind of get a little hint of red next to his name, which means he's more close to not playing than he is to playing. More likely not to play than to play. There we go. I got it right that time. You got Jimmy Butler, Tyler Herro already ruled out. So the Miami Heat are going to be pretty thin tonight. And honestly, I mean, they're going up against Washington. Washington, kind of a decent team, right? They do have a winning record at 8-7, but they probably don't need the full squad to take Washington out. But Miami does need to start getting some wins because they are below 500. So we'll have to keep an eye on this one. This game, though, very low total, 217.5. Both of these teams play at a very slow pace. So slow pace, less possessions, less points being scored here. But it is a 1-point spread. But yes, Miami's going to be rather thin. So maybe Bradley Beal, Kristaps Porzingis, Kyle Kuzma. Much easier time for those guys, right? Without Jimmy, Bam, Tyler Herro and company. Moving on to the 7:30 game. We got the Charlotte Hornets at the Cleveland Cavaliers. Another game with a fairly lower total. All right. And another game where we got to pay attention to the news. First and foremost, we got Martin and LaMelo Ball both already ruled out for the Charlotte Hornets. So no LaMelo Ball tonight, which means Terry Rozier's kind of got that backcourt back. You know, he's got the reins to the backcourt once again. Him and Theo Maledon looks like he is the projected starter. Now, why is he starting? Well, Dennis Smith Jr. is also a game time decision. So Dennis Smith Jr. had been starting alongside Rozier while LaMelo Ball was out. Not sure if DSJ plays tonight. Gordon Hayward also a game time decision. So I wouldn't touch any Hornets until you get some more news. All right. On the Cleveland side, Jared Allen, who's missed the last couple of games, is a game time decision. That is the big piece of news from that one. But again, 221 points. It's a 9.5 point spread. It favors Cleveland. This looks like a potential blowout. Blowout city. All right. You've been alerted. You've been warned that this game could turn into a blowout. Also, tip it off at 7:30. We got a big matchup between the Milwaukee Bucks and the Philadelphia 76ers. There's at least one guy from this game that I'm looking to target. We'll talk about him in just a moment, but the big news here is going to be Jrue Holiday, whose status is currently, again, up in the air. We don't know if he's going to play. We don't know if he's going to sit, but he has sat the last couple of games, and Giannis hasn't looked great, gang. Giannis has not looked great, and historically hasn't done so well against the Philadelphia 76ers, but we'll talk about that in just a moment. James Harden's still out. Furkan Korkmaz also out for the Philadelphia 76ers. This one's got a very low total. All right, you thought the Miami-Washington game was a low, slow game. Well, this is a lower, slower game at 212.5 points. Philadelphia is a 1.5 point favorite, but very low total, possibly the lowest total on tonight's slate. All right, 8 p.m., we've got my Orlando Magic taking on the Chicago Bulls. It looks like Wendell Carter Jr., who has missed the last game, probably will play tonight. Let me tell y'all something, all right? I don't know if you know this or not. Wendell Carter Jr., drafted by the Chicago Bulls, right? Had a couple of seasons with Chicago, didn't really fulfill his potential there. Kind of was being misused, right? They didn't know what to do with him, right? They drafted him. Didn't have the greatest start to his young career, but then he got traded for Nikola Vucevic. All right. And ever since then, when Wendell Carter Jr. plays the Chicago Bulls, he kicks their ass. He breaks that big foot off in their ass. So we're going to take a look at Wendell Carter Jr. against Chicago tonight. He's got green next to his name, which means he's probably going to play. And I would imagine that he's looking forward to this matchup against the Chicago Bulls. Mo Wagner, not Franz Wagner, but the older brother. The older Wagner is expected to play. He looks like he is good to go, and we might see the season debut of Gary Harris, veteran shooting guard Gary Harris. And boy, could the Orlando Magic use some healthy bodies. This game has a 221.5 point total, 9 point spread. It favors the Chicago Bulls. Pat Williams, the biggest piece of injury news. He's a game time decision. Kobe White game time decision too, so that could shake things up with their rotations a little bit. All right, this is probably going to be one of the more fun games of the night. 8 p.m. tip-off, Indiana Pacers, Houston Rockets. Tyrese Halliburton is the thumbnail player of the day for a reason. For a reason. He's going up against the Houston Rockets, and we know the Houston Rockets play fast. We know that whenever a team plays against the Houston Rockets, there's going to be fireworks, there's going to be offense, there's going to be a fast-paced, high point total, and that is absolutely the case here today. 236.5 implied points between these two teams. It's a 5-point spread as well, so it looks like it could stay close and competitive, which is what we like, right? So yes, I'm on some Tyrese Halliburton today. The big question is with Halliburton, which way do we go with him, right? We're definitely wanting to click more, but which projection do we like? Do we go with just the points? Do we go with PRA? Do we go with points plus assists? Heck, I even like his 3-point makes today. That could be a good look at 2.5 3-point makes. All right, a lot of different fun ways to go with Tyrese Halliburton, but he's definitely, absolutely on my radar and will be in play today in this high total explosive game. 8 p.m. tip-off between OKC and Memphis. I got a couple of plays from this one. Actually, just one guy that I'm looking forward to talking about on the Memphis side, in fact. A little bit of revenge narrative. We talked about Wendell Carter Jr. versus his former team. It's a player from the Memphis Grizzlies who's facing his former team and has had some very good success against them in the past. No Desmond Bane tonight, no Danny Green tonight. And then on the Oklahoma City side, Basley and Mann both out. But this one's got a nice total of 230.5. It is a 6-point spread. I think Memphis ends up blowing OKC out at some point. But you got SGA versus Ja Morant, man. Two of the best young point guards in the league, right? SGA, Ja Morant. Listen, I'm going to make a controversial statement right now. SGA's better than Ja Morant this season. Agree or disagree? Chat, let me know. Who are you taking? You taking SGA or Ja Morant right now? Based on what we've seen this season, who are you taking? Let me know in the chat. 8:30 p.m. tip-off between Boston and New Orleans. 230.5 points, 2.5 point spread. All right, keep an eye on Malcolm Brogdon and Marcus Smart. Brogdon looked like he's closer to being in than out. Marcus Smart's status kind of up in the air. All right, so if Malcolm Brogdon is in and Smart is out, Brogdon may enter that starting lineup alongside Jaylen Brown holding down that backcourt. For New Orleans, keep an eye on Zion Williamson. We're not sure if he's going to play. His status is up in the air, but this could be a fun game as well with over 230 implied points, a spread of just 2.5. Denver at Dallas. A lot of guys out for Denver, including Nikola, the Joker, Jokic, Jamal Murray already ruled out. Aaron Gordon's missed the last couple of games, so this might be the Michael Porter Jr., Bones Highland, KCP show tonight for the Denver Nuggets. Now they're playing against Dallas. This game has a very low total of just 215.5 points. It's a 9-point spread here. Reggie Bullock did not play in his last game. JaVale McGee, I think he was out in the last game too, but it looks like he's a green light go. He's probably going to play tonight. All right. Now, I don't see Luka Doncic on here. I don't see him in the starting lineup. And I don't see him on the injured list. I don't know what's going on with Luka. If you guys know what's happening with Luka tonight, is he in, is he out? I'm not sure. But he's not on the expected starting lineup. He's also not on the may not play list. So I don't know where Luka is. He fell through the cracks somehow. 9 p.m. tip-off between Phoenix and Utah. We got to keep an eye on Chris Paul. He is a game-time decision. He keeps sitting out. He hasn't played in a few games, so stay tuned on that CP3 news. 228 points, though. 2-point spread between these two ball clubs, right? Looking like a pretty nice total between the two of them. New York and Golden State tips off at 10 p.m. Definitely got a play from this game that I'm liking. A lot of first half plays. I'm just going to warn you up front. I got a lot of first half plays cooking. I think Steph Curry's probably in a good spot going up against New York. But this one has a huge total of 235 points, but a 7.5-point spread. That's why I'm sticking to first half only. So we'll talk about that in just a minute. Detroit and LA, the last game of the night here. 10:30 p.m. tip-off time. Detroit's on a back-to-back. They played last night against the Clippers. LA is a 7-point favorite, 226.5 points. Got to stay tuned for Anthony Davis and LeBron James news. It looks like AD's probably going to play. LeBron James status kind of up in the air. We might see Cade Cunningham tonight. He is a dark green. What does dark green mean? Dark green means very likely to play. So Cade Cunningham may be re-entering the starting lineup and getting back out on the floor for the Detroit Pistons. But that's tonight's slate, man. We got a lot of fun games here tonight. I think tonight's going to be a really good night for some prize picks. You guys are saying, Neil's saying that Luka's going to be rested. All right. Appreciate that information. Thomas is saying SGA is the second best player in the league right now. Forget point guards. He's saying the second best player in the league. Period. All right. Christian Ramirez says Ja is a 2K player and Morant is not even close. Does that mean you're on Team Ja over Team SGA? All right. Roy's saying Luka is still in. All right. All right. You guys let me know what's going on with Luka. I haven't heard any news for Luka. All right, let's take a look at prize picks here. We'll split these windows up and we'll start talking about some of these picks. Like I said, guys, I got a lot of first half that I'm liking. We'll start things off here with a guy that I mentioned to you before. He's taken on his former team. Let me see where he is at here. Did they pull him off the board? No, they didn't. All right, he's still there. Talk about Steven Adams here at 9.5. PRA. Steven Adams taking on his former team, the Oklahoma City Thunder. Guys, the Thunder are not very good, especially manning the middle, right? We take a look at the DVP here. Thanks to Fantasy Pros. Go over to the center position. You gotta kind of like sort through this. So we're looking at the points category first. You see that the Oklahoma City Thunder giving up about 25 points per game to centers. That puts them right around, eighth most. Rebounds. Where do they rank for rebounds? Over 16 rebounds per game. That's the 6th most rebounds to centers. And then assists at 4.4 assists per game. They are giving up what is a top 10 figure in both points, rebounds, and assists. So the matchup looks really good for Steven Adams. We talked about this sort of being a revenge spot. The revenge narrative is real, right? Steven Adams in a very good spot tonight going up against the team that drafted him, the Oklahoma City Thunder. So let's look at Steven Adams' first half points plus rebounds plus assist logs and see what he's been doing this season. Let me put that in there. All right, we're going to be looking at this together, gang. Now, he only had one PRA in his last game against the Pelicans. He doesn't perform very well against Joe Val. Jonas Valanciunas. But if we go back and look at the previous games, he hit in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of his last 6 games prior to that dud. All right, so he's 6 out of his last 8 and has done a pretty good job overall this season. He's got 16 here, 10 there, 10 there. But where things really get sweet is when we look at the first half PRA for Steven Adams versus the Thunder. All right, let's go take a look at what he's done. First half PRA against his former team. Well, he's played them 3 times since joining the Memphis Grizzlies, posting a healthy 19 first half. This is first half only. 19 first half PRA, 16 first half PRA, and 11 first half PRA. So he's 3 for 3 since joining the Memphis Grizzlies against his former squad, the Oklahoma City Thunder. All right, that all happened last season. So he was 3 for 3 last season. Now, when he was with New Orleans, before he got traded for Jonas Valanciunas, he had played OKC twice. 13 first half PRA and 13 first half PRA. So my man is lifetime career 5 for 5 first half points, rebounds, and assists versus the Oklahoma City Thunder. What do you think, gang? Are we riding with Steven Adams' first half PRA? We talked about the matchup. It is a slam dunk matchup. It doesn't get a whole lot better than this. All right, I'm going to show you guys one more time how many points that Oklahoma City, let's just call it 25 points, 16 rebounds. That's already 41 PRA. We tack on like another 4.5 assists. We'll call it like 44, 45 PRA given up to the center position. So that's about 22, right? If we slice it down the middle, 22 to 23 PRA. Slice it down the middle because we're talking first half only. 22 to 23 PRA given up. This guy just needs 10. And he's crushed it every single time that he's played him. But yes, I think Steven Adams' first half PRA makes for a fine consideration. So we're going to click more on him. Outside of that, who else are we liking? Well, we're going back to the first half PRA plays. We're going to go to this guy, Julius Randle, who's been doing a very good job here lately at covering the 17.5 PRA number. Now, I like it better if Mitchell Robinson sits out because it seems like Julius Randle's rebound rates tend to go up without Mitchell Robinson in the lineup. And we're going to need him to pull in some rebounds. And luckily for Julius Randle, he's in a very good spot tonight, going up against the Golden State Warriors, who give it up to power forwards and to centers. They're not stopping opposing front courts. Kevon Looney, Draymond Green, not doing their job, all right? Not doing a great job. So we'll start looking at power forwards first. We're going to look at points, rebounds, and assists given up by the Golden State Warriors to power forwards. Starting things off with the points, 25.3 points per game. Second most points allowed to opposing power forwards. Now I'm going first half only because this game looks like it could get out of hand. Golden State, pretty big favorites. They're playing at home. I don't know if I feel so comfortable going full game here in case of a blowout. Plus, Julius Randle's been hitting at a really high hit rate first half only. So why not just take the first half? But yes, Golden State giving up the second most points per game to power forwards at over 25 per game. All right. What about rebounds? Again, the Warriors giving up quite a few rebounds, about 10.5 per game. That puts them inside the top 10 most rebounds. Top 10 most rebounds allowed to power forwards. And then we've got the assist category, something that Julius Randle does pretty well. He's one of the better passing bigs in the league. Golden State giving up over 4 assists per game. That is the 6th most assists allowed to power forward. So Randle looks like he's in an excellent spot here. I also want to take a look at the center position, the PRA allowed by Golden State to centers. Because sometimes Randle, goes small ball, and I could see them going small ball tonight against Golden State. Golden State doesn't really have that big, hulking big man, right? So I could see Randle at the 5 a little bit. Well, if he does play center, Golden State's still giving up over 26 points per game to opposing centers, right? That's the 3rd most, and it's a higher per game average than what they give up to power forwards. As far as rebounds go, over 16 rebounds per game to opposing centers. So that puts them, again, top 10 most. That's actually the 7th most rebounds allowed to opposing centers. And then again, we'll look at the assist department, where Golden State ranks very high once again at 4.7 assists allowed. That's the 5th most. Julius Randle's in a good spot. Whether he plays power forward, whether he plays center, if he's playing either of the front court positions, it looks like he's in a really, really good spot here against Golden State. Now, let's take a look at Julius Randle real quick. We're going to go Julius Randle first half points plus REB plus AST logs this season. All right. So this is how you can search using StatMuse. And then you get an idea of what Julius Randle's been up to here at 17.5 first half PRA. We got him at 28 in his last game against Denver. No Jokic in that game. Now, he did fall short against Utah. I think he should have hit that going up against like Lauri Markkanen and Kelly Olynyk, right? Not very imposing guys, not very physical guys. Didn't take advantage of that matchup whatsoever. But we go back a little further. He hits here 19, 21, 27, 27, 23, and 18. So he's got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of his last 8 games. He has hit the over on 17.5 first half points plus rebounds, and he's in a primo spot here. So yes, I'm liking Julius Randle for more than 17.5. I want to go back to the well here against the Golden State Warriors. Are you guys liking it? I think Steven Adams first half PRA at 9.5 looks great. I think Julius Randle here, great matchup for him. I'm going back to it. So what are you guys thinking? Julius Randle? Steven Adams? Are we liking both of those first half PRA plays? So far, that's what I've got. All right, let's move on to another first half play. Now, this might scare some of you. This might give you some concern, some pause, but I'm thinking Giannis Antetokounmpo for less than 14.5 first half points. Why? Well, a number of reasons. Let's start at the top here, right? Let's look at the game total from this particular matchup. 212.5, one of the lowest and slowest games of the night. All right. Low total means fewer possessions. Fewer possessions means fewer shots are going up. Fewer shots going up means fewer points are being scored here. So it's a very slow paced game. I especially like this if Jrue Holiday is out. Why do I say that? Well, for his career, Giannis with Jrue and Chris Middleton out. All right. When it's Giannis as the lone guy, no Jrue Holiday, no Chris Middleton, I don't think he's hit this once in his entire career. 14.5 first half points. I think he's like 0 for 5 now. I could be wrong, but I think he's like 0 for 5 now. Let's dig into this a little bit more using StatMuse. We'll go Giannis first half points logs this season. So we're gonna start to see like how many times he's actually covered this just this season, right? 20, 18, and 19. So 3 times out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So he's 3 for 11, gang. So right off the jump, right? 3 for 11, he's not doing a great job here. Now let's look at the games where he scored the 20, the 18, and the 19. I mentioned that he doesn't play so well with Jrue and Chris Middleton out. Let's see who was active for these games. So the 20-point game came against Houston. They're a bad defense. We already know that. The 18-point game came against New York. And then the 19-point game came against Detroit. Let's just see who was in for the Milwaukee Bucks. I'm curious. All right, so Jrue Holiday was in. All right. Jrue Holiday was in. Giannis tends to play better when Jrue Holiday plays. So Jrue was in for that one. Jrue Holiday was in for this one. And yeah, Jrue Holiday was in for this one as well. All right. So he was in for all 3 of those. I'm telling you, when Jrue Holiday's out and Chris Middleton is out, Giannis just isn't the same guy. And we know that Giannis has been kind of in and out of the starting lineup, right? He's been sitting out some games. I think he's dealing with some sort of like nagging injury, knee injury or something like that. He just hasn't looked quite the same. All right, so let's go Giannis first half points logs without Jrue Holiday this season. Take it a step further, right? All right, so he's played 2 games this season without Jrue Holiday. Now, we know Chris Middleton has not taken the floor yet for Milwaukee, so this season alone, he is 0 for 2 without Jrue, without Chris Middleton. He scored 6 against Cleveland and just 12 against Atlanta. So this season, no Jrue, no Chris, 0 for 2, 6 and 12. Now let's go a step further here, right? Giannis first half points logs versus Sixers. which is who he's playing tonight. He's at 14.5 first half points. He's only hit this once in his last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games against the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, I could go back further, but going back here to the 14-point game, I mean, that's 2020. Like, any further than that, all right, you're starting to push it a little bit. But in the last 2 to 3 years against the Philadelphia 76ers, he's only gone over 14.5 points once. 1 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1 for 8 against Philly. 1 for his last 8 against Philly. So that is, again, why I'm thinking about going under here. Especially if Drew is out. So, I'm going to click less on that one. Now, I have been taking he was at 25.5 first half PRA. Then they put him down to 25 first half PRA. I was taking the under on that. But he does hit the PRA at a little higher hit rate on today's number. I think it's at 22.5 or something like that. So that's why I'm kind of pivoting over to the points. Less than 14.5 points. Very slow pace game. We know the Philadelphia 76ers, pretty tough team defensively. Let's just go see how many points per game they're giving up to power forwards real quick. Just to put a number on things, right? We go down, they're giving up about 20.6 points per game. So if we cut that in half, 10 to 11 first half points versus power forwards, it's not an exact science or anything, but still. 10 to 11 first half points. He needs 15 to hit the over. So I'm going to take less on Giannis's points here. Are you riding with me, or are you guys scared? You're going to tuck your tail and run. I get it. It's the Greek Freak, but low total game, guys. Low total game. No Drew, no Chris Middleton. Very low hit rates this season. Very low hit rates without Drew and Chris. Very low hit rates against the Philadelphia 76ers. I'm taking a shot on it, man. If you guys disagree, do not take it, all right? Don't do anything you don't want to do. But I think it looks like a good spot. All right, we're going back to PRA here. First half PRA, namely. And we're going to be talking about Al Horford. Al Horford at 10.5. First half PRA has been hitting. 14, 15, 15, and 12 in his last 4 games. Had just 10 against Memphis. Kind of fell short in that one. But let's pull up more game logs for Al Horford here. First half points, plus rebounds, plus assists, logs. Guys, you need to be using StatMuse for your first half player prop research if you're not using it yet. So looking at Al Horford here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. His last 7 games, he has gone over this number, 10.5 first half PRA in 6 out of 7. 6 out of 7. And 7 out of his last 9. So pretty darn good hit rates here for Al Horford. Now, Malcolm Brogdon's going to be in. If Marcus Smart is out, I'm riding with it. If Marcus Smart's in and Malcolm Brogdon are in, I'm probably going to pump the brakes on this just a little bit. But I like the fact that Zion's not going to be playing for New Orleans on the other side. So it's going to be Al Horford versus Jonas Valanciunas. Not too mad at that matchup. Let's look at the center spot real quick and see how many points, rebounds, and assists that the New Orleans Pelicans are giving up to centers, right? They're giving up about 21 points, 20.8 to be exact, about 15 rebounds. So let's call that 21 points and 15 rebounds. That's like 36 points and rebounds and about 3 assists per game. So we'll call it about 39, 40 PRA. We kind of slice that in half, right? For first half only. Slice that in half. That's about 20-ish PRA given up per game to centers. My man needs 11. And if Marcus Smart is out, I think I'm still riding with it. But if Smart's in, then I may back off of it a little bit. Now, Smart is currently up in the air. We don't know if he's going to play or not tonight. We're not sure if he's going to play or not tonight. But this game total at 230.5 is pretty darn high. Anything 230 or up, I feel good about taking some overs. So we know that Malcolm Brogdon is in, but Marcus Smart currently a game time decision. Zion currently a game time decision. So this is kind of one of those wait and see plays. We may not lock it in just yet, but it has been hitting at a very high clip, and it's one that you should have on your radar If Smart's out, if Zion's out, I think that helps Al Horford's overall chances of hitting this number at 10.5. For now, he's more, for me, first half PRA, but I'm going to wait and see. Let's take the wait and see approach. All right. So what are you guys thinking? What are you guys thinking about Al Horford? We in or we out on Big Al Horford at 10.5 rebounds? I think he goes for more. Okay, especially if Brogdon is out, especially if Zion is out. All right, so those are some first half plays for you. We had, let's just recap these real quick. Julius Randle for more than 17.5 first half PRA. Giannis for less than 14.5 first half points. Again, might want to wait and see if Drew Holiday's in or out, but if Drew is out, then I'm all over the under on this. Same thing with Horford. Take the wait and see approach at 10.5 first half PRA. But if Smart's out, if Zion's out, I like the over on Al Horford. And then Steven Adams at 9.5 PRA looks like a fantastic play. Going up against his former team, the Oklahoma City Thunder. He's hit this in every game he's played. All right, so those are 4 first half plays. Let's talk about a couple of full game plays, and then I'll take some of your favorite picks and stuff, and we'll look into those together. I talked about this guy in a revenge setting going up against the Chicago Bulls, Wendell Carter Jr. Let's take a look at what Wendell Carter Jr. has been doing. Now, normally I don't take these Orlando Magic props. Why is that? Because as an Orlando Magic fan, our team is frustrating to try to figure out from game to game. You know, your guess is as good as mine as far as who steps up from one night to another. But what I will say is this. Historically, Wendell Carter Jr. against the Chicago Bulls has been a smash spot for him. He seems to play really hard anytime he faces Chicago. Now, his points line is at 16.5 today. You're going to look at this and you're going to be like, dang, he's only 5 for 14, 36%. But I do want to find the silver lining here. The last 2 games that he's played in, dropped 20 against Phoenix and DeAndre Ayton, 20 against Mason Plumlee and a pretty bad Charlotte Hornets squad. So he took advantage of some soft matchups. He's going to play well rested tonight. All right. He's on 3 days rest. He's going up against the Chicago Bulls. Nikola Vucevic, if you've ever followed his career at any point, you know that he is not a defender. And the chip that Wendell Carter Jr. will probably be playing with on his shoulder tonight must be massive. Now, let me show you. Let me show you what Wendell Carter Jr. has done against the Bulls since being traded from them. Wendell Carter Jr. points versus Bulls logs. All right, so he's faced the Chicago Bulls a total of 5 times since being traded to the Orlando Magic. And in those games, 24 points, 19 points, 21 points, 26 points, and 19 points. Now listen, as I said, the Orlando Magic are a frustrating team to figure out from one game to the next. I'm not saying this is a lock. You know me better than that. I would never say those words to you. I'm just saying, if we're going by the numbers, if we're going by the past game logs, Wendell Carter Jr. gets up for this matchup. Drafted by the Bulls, then traded by the Bulls for Nikola Vucevic, right? Bulls were like, we need us a superstar to put alongside Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan. He felt disrespected. Wendell Carter Jr. probably felt disrespected after being dealt after just a 2-year stint with Chicago. But you see what he's done here. 24, 19, 21, 26, and 19. As far as his full game stats go, this was the only one that I could find versus the Bulls that was 5 for 5. 100% hit rate. So that's why I'm riding with the points. Fantasy score, PRA, probably also very solid looks, but I think the hit rates for the PRA slightly lower than the points on their own. So let's see if Wendell Carter Jr. can keep the streak alive against Chicago. I'm going to get you a projection on this one. Being that it's a full game prop, I do have a projection I can offer you. He is projected for 16.6 full game points. Slight betting favorite right now, minus 120 to go under on DraftKings and minus 120 to go under on BetMGM. Now, I don't know if the people that are putting their money down on this know what kind of savage Wendell Carter Jr. is versus Chicago, but maybe they don't. All right, maybe those who are betting the under on this don't know what Wendell does when he plays the Bulls. But now you and I do, right? 5 for 5, and he scored at least 19 points or more in all 5 of those games. So My lean on this would definitely be to go over on Wendell Carter Jr. And last but not least, he's our thumbnail player of the game. But what are we going to do with this guy, Tyrese Halliburton? I mentioned there's a lot of very good ways to play Tyrese Halliburton today. If you're watching in the live chat, let me know. What's your favorite way to play Tyrese Halliburton today? I will tell you this. His points plus assists were sitting at 29.5 within the last hour. They have been bumped from 29.5 up to 30.5. All right, so they did get bumped by 1 point. I still like it. His hit rates don't change at all when you go and look at some of these points plus assists game logs for him. Let's flip over to Tyrese Halliburton real quick, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So we've got a total of 13 games that he's played this season. He's at 30.5 on PrizePicks now. He's at 30.5 on Props.cash. But even at 29.5, when we bump him down to 29.5, you could see that his hit rates stay the same. He's still 9 for 13, still 69% hit rate on his points plus assists. So the fact that he's at 30.5 really doesn't change things a whole lot. Yeah, his averages, you can see those go from green to red, right? At 29.5, his last 10 averaged 29.6. His last 5 averaged 30.4. So those do turn red, all right? He's averaging slightly below 30.5 in his last 10 and last 5 games. That's why they turn red. But overall, the hit rates still stay the same. 9 for 13, 69% hit rate. So I still think the points plus assists are a good way to go at 30.5. Solid option. Now, for whatever reason, they don't have just his points up. I don't know why. I'm sure they'd be at like 18.5, 19.5, something like that. Maybe even 20.5 in this matchup. But we don't have just the points on their own. So because of that, maybe we have to look at something like PRA. That could be another fine way to go. Let's look at his PRA hit rates. So 69% hit rate at 30.5 points plus assists. If we look at the PRA at 34.5, also a 69% hit rate. So that combines points, rebounds, and assists. So points plus assists at 30.5, PRA at 34.5, same hit rate, still 69% for either one. And I also mentioned liking his 3-point makes. I think this is also a fine way to go here. His 3-point makes are sitting at 2.5, so he needs to drain 3 threes to hit the over. And he's done this in 69% of his games. So my man Tyrese Halliburton's got a thing for the number 69, y'all. He's hit 69% on his threes, 69% on the PRA, 69% on the points plus assists. Game is Life is saying he's liking points and assists the best. Roy is saying he's liking the points and assists the best, or possibly going just assists. Now his assists on their own are at 10.5. Let's look at that real quick. What's the hit rate on those? 54%. Slightly lower, right? Slightly lower success rate than the PRA, the points plus assists, or the 3-point makes. Now you could go fantasy score for Tyrese Halliburton here at 44.5 too. If you wanted to go that route, maybe you play on PrizePicks, I wouldn't be mad at you doing that either. So let's go to the point guard position. We could look and see how many fantasy score or points that Houston gives up per game to point guards. Second most, 55.3 fantasy score per game to point guards. So if you wanted to go fantasy, that is a very strong option. 55.3, the second highest, second most fantasy points per game to point guards. Let's look at something here when talking fantasy score. We could go Tyrese Halliburton. Use the words FanDuel points logs this season. How many times has he cleared? 44.5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 out of 13. That kind of puts him right in line with some of these other hit rates, right? 8 out of 13, slightly higher than his assist hit rate. Slightly lower than the PRA hit rate. That hit at 9 out of 13. And then the points plus assists at 30.5 was also 9 out of 13. And then the 3-point makes were also 9 out of 13. So if you're going just off hit rates, 3-point makes, points plus assists, PRA are going to be your best option. Your next best option would be fantasy score for Hallie. And then I would say your fifth option would probably be just the assists on their own. All right. So in this case, I think I'm going to go points plus assists. Those are his strong suits. And if you look at how the Houston Rockets do against opposing point guards, they give up plenty of points at about 25 per game. But where they kind of are stingy, we'll call it, is in the rebound category. You could see that they allow just under 5 rebounds per game to point guards. If you go all the way down to the bottom of the list, that is the second fewest rebounds allowed per game. So I think the ones that look like the strongest way to go here, as far as the DVP, Houston Rockets, what they give up to point guards, about 24.5 points per game and about 11 assists. Now, 11 assists is the, most, I think? Yeah, most assists allowed to point guards per game. So for me, I think I'm going to go points plus assists on Halliburton, and I'm going to take the over. And we talked about Wendell Carter Jr. for more than 16.5 points. So if I was to put together, we'll call it a super six, right? Julius Randle, Giannis Antetokounmpo less on the first half points. Al Horford for more than 10.5 first half PRA. Steven Adams for more than 9.5 first half PRA. Wendell Carter Jr. for more than 16.5 points. And Tyrese Halliburton over 30.5 points plus assists. And guess what? Because it's Flex Friday, I can put $20 on this risk-free. And if this loses, I'm going to get that $20 back. So why not? Says I've successfully submitted it. What's going on here, PrizePicks? Your website's acting funky. Well, I think I submitted it, but it still looks like it's kind of up. There we go. So $20, right? $20. If they all hit, I'll win 500. If they don't and I lose, I don't actually lose. It's a risk-free entry. So $20 to win 500. I'm locking it in, man. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, right? We're gambling. All right. Anyway, let's get to some of your questions, guys. Q&A time. Q&A time. Hit me with the questions, and I'll try to hit you with the answers. But that's what I'm rocking with. Randle over 17.5 first half PRA against Golden State. Great matchup. Great hit rates in the recent games. Giannis under 14.5 versus Philadelphia. Low scoring game. Very low total game here. Giannis, not great this season on first half points. Not great throughout his career against Philadelphia in covering 14.5 first half points. And not great covering it, especially when Drew and Chris are out for Milwaukee. Horford's been doing a great job with 10.5 PRA. Might not have Zion on the other side, so I'm liking Al Horford here for more than 10.5 points, rebounds, and assists, especially if Marcus Smart's out. I think that helps Horford's chances quite a bit. Steven Adams has just kicked the door in on 9.5 first half PRA against his former team, the Oklahoma City Thunder. 5 for 5 in his career, covering that number. Wendell Carter Jr. also 5 for 5 in his career against the Chicago Bulls, covering 16.5 points. A couple of little revenge narratives there. Steven Adams and Wendell Carter Jr. And then Tyrese Halliburton. In a great matchup, paced up game against the Houston Rockets, 30.5 points plus assists. That's the way we're going, gang. That's the way we're going. All right. Derek Bouchard, shout out to Derek, big supporter. Appreciate your support, my friend. He says that Marcus Smart missed the shoot around this morning. Love it, love it. Fire up some Al Horford then. I like that even more. I'm not going to be able to get to everybody's comment, by the way, or everybody's question in the chat. So if you have one that's like a really pressing matter, something that you want to guarantee gets seen or heard, make it a super chat. If you go to the chat window down underneath, you can like show your support by leaving a super chat, and then you can have your comment highlighted in the chat so that, you know, I make sure that I see it. I'm not going to be able to get to everybody's question though. Yatil wants to know, what's your suggestion on the most profitable bets? 2-pick, 3-pick, or 5-pick flex? I would say that historically I've had the most success as far as like building up a bankroll, kind of the slow and steady approach, the grind it, you know, daily grind approach. I think I've had the most success with like 2 picks and 3 picks. If you're playing 5 picks daily, don't expect to hit a 5 pick every single day. and 6 picks for that matter. If you're playing a 5 pick or a 6 pick every single day, you're going to have to expect that you're not going to win as much. But when you do win, you're going to win big, right? When you go 5 for 5 or 6 for 6, it's going to be a 10x payout or a 25x payout. So if you're somebody who wants to see more wins, I would say play more 2 picks, play more 3 picks. If you're somebody who's chasing the big paydays, play your 5 picks. And now your 6 picks. But don't expect to win or hit every single day. All right. Going through some of these other ones. Ja Morant, we haven't really talked a lot about Ja Morant tonight. As we mentioned, Ja Morant versus SGA should be fun. Should be must-see TV. But yeah, Ja Morant's been doing a pretty good job at 5.5 rebounds. 5.5 rebounds has been a good number here for Ja Morant. If you wanted to go there, I couldn't be mad at you for doing so. Taking a look at his matchup, point guards versus Oklahoma City. You can see the Thunder giving up about 6.5 rebounds per game. Doesn't sound like a whole lot, but then you kind of look at where that ranks, and that puts them close to the top of the list, right? Giving up a healthy amount of rebounds per game to opposing point guards. We already talked about this game having a pretty big total at over 230 points. Over 230 points. And then Ja Morant, as far as his hit rates go, we'll go to rebounds. We'll just switch this over from all games to the Oklahoma City-Memphis game. And then we'll click on Ja Morant's name, and you can see that it's been a little spotty here. Been a little spotty in his last 10 games or so. But he's definitely got that rebound upside. Just isolating the last 5 games here, he's hit the over in 4 out of 5. Got hooked here against San Antonio with just 5 rebounds. But yeah, 9, 8, 10, 8. So the rebound upside is big. It's huge for Ja Morant. He's got the potential to pull in double-digit rebounds in some games. Played OKC twice last season, went 1 for 2 against them. So 50% hit rate, pulled in 6 and 5. So the 5.5 is a pretty sharp number, I would say. I would say so myself. Let's get you a projection here. Just a quick projection on Ja Morant. I had a couple of people leaving some super chats. I want to make sure that I give them plenty of time. Appreciate those super chats as always, my friends. Ja Morant, 5.5 boards. We're seeing some very strong juice. A lot of action coming in on the over. Minus 140, minus 136 on some sites. So that's pretty good, right? When you see those kind of odds, when you see that kind of momentum coming in on the over or under. In this case, the over makes you feel pretty good. It means there's a lot of folks who believe in Ja Morant's chances of 6 or more rebounds tonight. And then the action projections have him at 6.4 projected rebounds. So almost a whole rebound higher than where he's at the 5.5 number. So if you wanted to go there, I don't think that is a bad look. All right. Addressing these super chats here, Everyday Fantasy says that he hit 2, not 1. All right. Because 1 would just be so pedestrian. He had to go for 2. 25x. Payouts yesterday. Damn. Well, even if you risk $5 on that, right? That's still, anytime you could 25 times your money, that's huge, right? Turn $1 into $25 on Wednesday during happy hour or something, right? 25 times your money is big, but to do it twice in one day, Everyday Fantasy, aka Don P, if you're in our Discord, if you're in our Patreon group, wow, that's huge, man. Congratulations. I appreciate you paying it forward. Make sure you cash out. Make sure you pay yourself, man. 225 hitters yesterday. That's big. Constant Dew Drinker says, Beal or Mitchell for points? Are you wanting to take one or the other? Are you asking which one should you go with? Or are you saying maybe both? Maybe Beal and Mitchell? You said Beal or Mitchell, so I'm guessing you're trying to decide between the two, but I could be looking into it a little too deep. Anyway, we got Beal at 20.5 points, right? We got Donovan Mitchell at 25.5. I think some folks were on Donovan Mitchell in that last game. His line was set at 26.5. I know he was very popular. Everyone was like, smash the over. It's Donovan Mitchell. He's been crazy good, and he has been good. But he was at 26.5 in the last game, could not get the job done against the Milwaukee Bucks. And that was without Drew Holiday, I think, right? So he finished with 23 against Milwaukee. But yeah, you go back and look at some of these other game logs: 33, 30, 38, 29 against Golden State. But his line today is sitting at 25.5. Now he's going to be facing a Charlotte Hornets team that's going to be without LaMelo Ball, potentially without Gordon Hayward. Dennis Smith Jr. may not be there. Like, who's going to guard this guy? Is it Terry Rozier? Kelly Oubre? Theo Maledon? Are we worried about any of these guys from a defensive standpoint? I don't think I am. Let's pull up his game logs from this season. Donovan Mitchell here. You know me, gang. If you've watched my show before, if you watched these live streams before, you know that I've got a little saying. I like to go back to a prop after a flop. 23 points for Donovan Mitchell with the way that he's been scoring the basketball this season. 23 points is good by pretty much anybody else's criteria. But for Donovan Mitchell, this was absolutely a flop with just 23 points. At 25.5 points, he's hit the over in 9 out of 12 games. That's a 75% hit rate, averaging nearly 31 points per game for the season, almost 31 points per game in his last 10. The average has dipped just a little bit to 30.6 in his last 5. A lot of that has to do with the 23 that he logged against Milwaukee. So he's going to be playing Charlotte tonight, and he's going to be at home in Cleveland. Now let's look at something real quick. I'm a splits believer. I believe that certain guys do better at home than they do on the road, and I would think that there's numbers to support that. So let's look at how he's done at home this season. Ooh. So he's at home versus Charlotte tonight. He is just 2 for 4 playing in Cleveland. Failed to go over against Orlando with 14 points. Failed to go over against Boston with just 25 points. So he's got some really strong games with 37 and 38 against Washington and the New York Knicks. But he's got some really bad ones with 14 and 25. Again, 25 is good by almost anybody else's standards. But for Donovan Mitchell this season, 25 is a bad game for him, which is just telling at how good he's been this year, right? So he's 2 for 4 at home. Charlotte, 20th in terms of total points allowed to opposing teams. That's good, right? Anything 20 or higher, so 20 through 30 is what we're looking for. Yellow, green. But Donovan likes to shoot some threes. They've been pretty good at defending the 3 ball. 7th in total threes allowed to opposing teams. 5th in 3-point field goal percentage to opposing teams. So they're a tough team when it comes to defending the 3 ball, but they rank just 26th in guarding opposing defenses. Now, there's one other split that I want to look at here. This game, not the highest total in the world at 221.5. So you guys are getting all horned up looking at this 25.5 number for Donovan Mitchell, thinking, man, this is a cakewalk. This is easy. There's a reason. There is a reason why he is at 25.5. Because the game total's not super high. It's not like it's 231.5, right? And the fact that there is a 9.5 point spread. So I want to look at another split here. I want to change this from home. We'll go back to the all games view. He's 9 for 12, 75%. But what happens when Cleveland beats a team by 10 or more points? Because there's a very real chance this happens tonight against the Charlotte Hornets without LaMelo Ball and Gordon Hayward. So whenever Cleveland wins by 10 or more points, he's 4 for 5. Failed to get it done against Orlando. So there's a chance that Cleveland beats the brakes off the Charlotte, that Donovan Mitchell doesn't get his full run of minutes, and that maybe he falls short at 25.5. There is a chance. But in games where Cleveland has beaten teams by 10 or more points, he's gone over in 32, 33, 37, and 38. I mean, he's had some massive games. The one letdown was against the Orlando Magic. All right. So that's just something to keep in mind. Now, last year he played Charlotte twice, scored 21 and 26 against them. So he's 1 for 2. This was back when he was with the Jazz, a little different situation. Wasn't scoring the ball nearly as well then. All right. So this is kind of your deep dive on Donovan Mitchell here. But let's get you a projection on Mitchell, because I know there was another guy that you asked about, Bradley Beal. Mitchell's projected points are at 25, which is less than 25.5. I know, hard to believe, right? Hard to believe. Well, you got the blowout. You got kind of a lower total compared to some of these other games tonight. So it makes sense. I think 25.5 is actually a pretty good line for him. DraftKings, he's a slight betting favorite to go over at 25.5, minus 125 betting favorite. So you got Donovan Mitchell there, and then you also asked about Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal at 20.5 points. Man, I can't believe this. Just a couple seasons ago, this guy was dropping 30 a night like it was nothing, right? And now he's at 20.5 points. Let's start from the top. All right, high level here. We're going to start Washington versus Miami. Take a look at the game total. Again, it seems like a low number, but that's because if you look at the expected points between these two teams, it's only 216.5. So if Bradley Beal was at 20.5 points in a game total of 226.5 or 236.5, then I'd say, hell yeah, sign me up, bro. Sign me up, bro. But he's not. He's in the game total of 216.5 with a 5.5 point spread. Now, I will give you this. Miami is beat up. They're going to be without Jimmy Butler, Tyler Herro, possibly without Bam Adebayo. So Bradley Beal, not in a game where there's going to be a ton of points expected to be scored. It's one of the lowest totals of the night. But I understand the excitement why he is at 20.5. I think for me, if you're liking Donovan Mitchell at 25.5 points, you got to hope that the reason they blow out the Charlotte Hornets is because Donovan Mitchell is just on fire, right? That's what you're hoping for. If you take the over on a full game prop in a game script, game situation where Vegas thinks it could blow out, 9.5 point spread, you're hoping that Donovan Mitchell is the reason why, that he's got a major hand in the reason why Cleveland blows Charlotte out, right? That's what you're hoping for. Now, I don't know if I can get on board here with Bradley Beal. I think I would prefer Donovan Mitchell. If you're asking me which one would I rather take on PrizePicks, I'd probably have to say Mitchell. Looking at Bradley Beal, he's projected for 20.7, but he's a betting favorite, slight betting favorite on most books at 20.5. So there you go. Now, another thing, if you're afraid of the blowout with Donovan Mitchell, you could always go first half only on Donovan Mitchell, which is why I love PrizePicks, because PrizePicks gives us these first half only options. Don't be afraid to take a first half only. I mean, you open up Donovan Mitchell's first half game logs and you're like, dang, maybe he didn't hit against Milwaukee in the full game at 26.5 points, but he sure as heck hit the over on first half only at just 18. All right, so you could go first half only on Donovan Mitchell. Maybe that's the right answer. Let's look at it. Donovan Mitchell first half points logs this season. All right, he's at 12.5 points. He's hit the over in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 out of 12 games, gang. He has hit the over on 12.5 first half points. So if you think this game blows out, which it very well could because it is the Charlotte Hornets, take the first half only on his points. 10 out of 12 games he has hit the over. 10 out of 12. No LaMelo Ball tonight. Who's going to D Donovan Mitchell up? It's a good question, right? I can't really think of anybody off the top of my head who scares me. We know that the Charlotte Hornets are giving up about 25 points per game. If we saw that in half, that's exactly 12.5 points given up to point guards. But this guy is no average point guard. We know he's an above average point guard talent. When we look at the shooting guard position, the Charlotte Hornets are giving up 22.5 points per game, full game points. All right, so we cut that in half. You're at like 11.25 points allowed. So that's a good question, Angelo. Let's figure that out together, buddy. He's asking, what's a good lock? What is a good Samsung lock? Why you should use good lock on your Samsung Galaxy? What is good luck on Samsung Galaxy phones? Are we talking like padlocks, or what is a good padlock? We got some good ones here. I mean, these look good. Master Lock, Igloo Home. We got Brinks. I mean, we could look at these all day, but I mean, those are, some options for you. But yeah, Donovan Mitchell first half points, probably the safer way to go than the full game points, being that this game could possibly blow out. So I'm going to go here. My answer to you is Donovan Mitchell first half points if you can take it. All right. LifeLock. LifeLock's another good one. We got another super chat from Everyday Fantasy. He says, check the PrizePicks announcements. All right, let's go. We're going to the PrizePicks announcements. What are they announcing today? They're always announcing something. It says the Discord 100,000 members giveaway. Take your shot at $100,000 worth of prizes tonight. All right, let me bring this over on the main screen here so you guys can look along with me here. Yeah, so this is in the official PrizePicks Discord. A Discord 100,000 members giveaway. Take your shot at $100,000 worth of prizes tonight. To be eligible, you must share a picture of an entry placed today and guess the combined points, rebounds, and assists of Giannis, Joel Embiid, Steph Curry, and Julius Randle. Holy smokes. Okay, the first 4 perfect guesses or closest guesses will win a 6-pick flex to bag $25,000 on PrizePicks. Holy hell. All previously placed entries are eligible and edited / multiple entries will be disqualified. All right, there's the graphics for it. Discord. They've hit over 100,000 members in the official PrizePicks Discord. So they're doing a $100,000 giveaway. 100,000 Discord members equals $100,000 worth of prizes. So basically, you got to guess the PRA total as close as you can for Giannis, Joel Embiid, Steph Curry, and Julius Randle. So you got those 4 players. You're trying to figure out how many combined points, rebounds, and assists. Get as close as you can or exact. If you can get it exact, you're a genius. But you'll win a free, risk-free 6-pick flex. If you get those 6 out of 6 right in your 6-pick flex, you could be taking home $25,000 on PrizePicks. Whew. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Appreciate you pointing that out, Mr. Everyday Fantasy. So yeah, guys, definitely take advantage and get yourself over there and do that. ZXR Skill says, hey CJ, thinking about running two of your plays in a 2-man power play. What are 2 of your favorite out of the 6? Well, let's go back to the 6 that we already have in. We got Julius Randle over 17.5 first half PRA. We've got Giannis for less than 14.5 first half points. Al Horford for more than 10.5 first half PRA. We got Steven Adams for more than 9.5 PRA. Then we got a couple of full game picks worked in there too. Wendell Carter Jr. for more than 16.5 points and Tyrese Halliburton for more than 30.5 points plus assists. If I were to do a 2-pick, it's going to be controversial, possibly controversial here. Right now, I'd probably go Adams, 9.5 PRA. And then I would probably go, I actually wish I had this in my 6-pick, but I'd probably go Donovan Mitchell for like 12.5 first half points. I don't mind that as a 2-pick power play. Why is that? Well, we just talked about Donovan Mitchell. He's gone over 12.5 first half points in 10 out of 12 games this season. We're afraid that possibly Cleveland blows Charlotte out tonight, which could impact Donovan Mitchell getting over the hump of 25.5 full game points. So to save yourself some heartache in a potential blowout scenario, you can go first half only here. He's hit the first half only on his points 5 out of his last 5 games. 10 out of 12 overall this season. So I'm with that one. I like Donovan Mitchell. But you guys are probably wondering, well, what's the deal with Steven Adams? Well, some of you might have missed this. Steven Adams, first half points, plus rebounds, plus assists versus Thunder Logs. He's playing OKC tonight. And in Steven Adams' 5 games since leaving OKC, he's gone over 9.5 first half PRA in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 out of 5. And some of you were mentioning Jaren Jackson Jr. being back, and you're a little scared about Jaren Jackson Jr. Well, let's look at some of these games here, doggone you. You doubters, you haters. No, I'm kidding. Good point, though. Jaren Jackson Jr. is back. He was in this game, too. All right, so Jaren Jackson Jr. played in this game, and yeah, they ended up winning big, 152-79. So Jaren Jackson Jr. was present for that game. He was in the starting lineup. That did not slow Steven Adams down. All right, so that was when he dropped 11 first half PRA, right? 11 first half PRA. There's Jaren Jackson Jr. again. For those of you concerned about Jaren Jackson Jr.'s presence, now you look at the minutes for Adams, he only played 20 minutes. That's why I'm taking him first half only, because sometimes this guy gets phased out and he doesn't play a lot in the third and fourth quarter. So I'm going first half only, but Jaren Jackson Jr. was in for this game too. The same game in which Steven Adams recorded 16 first half points, rebounds, and assists. All right. So we're not scared of Jaren Jackson Jr. What about this game? Well, Jaren Jackson Jr., there he is again, front and center, present. 19 first half points, rebounds, and assists for Steven Adams in that game. So Jaren Jackson Jr. was in for every game that Steven Adams hit as a member of the Memphis Grizzlies against his former team, the Oklahoma City Thunder. 11 PRA, 16 PRA, and 19 PRA. All right? So we're not worried about Jaren Jackson Jr. At least I'm not. I think he's fine and dandy. Fine and dandy, even if Jaren Jackson Jr. is out there running laps. And we already talked about the matchup. The Oklahoma City Thunder aren't any better this season than they have been in past seasons. And if they are, it's not by much. They're still giving up about 25 points per game, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th most. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th most. 7th most points to centers. They're giving up 16.3 rebounds per game to centers. That is the 6th most rebounds. And then they're giving up 4.4 assists, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9th most assists to centers. This is a great matchup for Steven Adams. All right? He's hit it in every single game against his former team, the Oklahoma City Thunder. He's hit it with Jaren Jackson Jr. in the lineup 3 out of 3 times. And he's going up against OKC, who's given up a top 10 amount of points, rebounds, and assists to centers. Why wouldn't I like that? So yeah, I'm just gonna hit enter now, right? $25. There we go. 2-pick power. Steven Adams, Donovan Mitchell. Again, if you don't like this, don't take it. If you don't like it, don't take it. I only want you to take it if you agree with it. And if you take it, that must mean you agree with it, right? All right. So there you go, Rashawn. You're asking about a lock. Some of you other folks are asking about locks, and I'm funny sometimes, and I say, like, go look, who are the locks? Well, it's Chic Luch, Styles P, and Jada Kiss. They're a rap group from New York. But in this case, 2 picks that I really like. No, they're not locks, because if there were locks, PrizePicks would be out of business. If there were guarantees, PrizePicks would be out of business, and we'd be rich living on our own private island somewhere. But I really like Steven Adams for a 9.5 first half PRA. I really like Donovan Mitchell for more than 12.5 points. So there you go. Guys, I try to keep this an hour. We are well over an hour today. It is Flex Friday, meaning your first flex entry of $20 is completely risk-free. All right? It's a protected pick, protected entry. If you lose your $20, they're going to give it back to you. All right? So take a shot like I did. I went big here. Go big or go home. I did a 6-pick with Randall, Antetokounmpo, Al Horford, Steven Adams, Wendell Carter Jr., and Tyrese Halliburton. I would definitely say that Donovan Mitchell fits the criteria. He would probably have made it in my 6-pick flex as well, but, we found out about him a little too late. But yeah, Flex Friday, first flex entry, $20 risk-free. Guys, I'm also giving away over a dozen free 2 picks to win yourself $100 on PrizePicks. One way that you can win is make sure you're subscribed to the channel, like today's show. Once the replay goes up on YouTube, go to the comment section, comment your favorite pick of the day, favorite play of the day down there. You'll automatically be entered in to win. All right. And then I'm giving away over 10 more free entries inside of Discord. Patreon members, you know how it goes. It's free entry Friday. I give over 10 free entries away every single Friday to Patreon members. If you want to be a Patreon member, if you want to be a part of the community, if you want to help support my content, support the show, link down in the description below to join Patreon. But that's it, man. That's it for me. Good luck on all your entries today. 11-game NBA slate. Massive, massive. I hope everybody wins big money. We'll see you on Monday, guys. Peace.